All right, here.
Work remotely. SVT, nice.
There's. Look at this. You remember? I don't know if you were into that. The thing that now everybody knows about Ukraine, right?
I would assume so, that they're at war.
Well, they started the whole dumbassery started in 2014, and so they had that thing called protest called Maidan, right?
Yeah.
And well, I mean, they free people. They can Maidan or not to Maidan or whatever protest, not except Victoria Nuland, who was number 2 in the State Department, was over there mingling with the people, handing out the cookies.
Yeah.
Cookies. Here is a cookie.
That's a cookie.
Yeah, and it says foreign agent. Here's another one. Look at this. You should be familiar with it.
There's a cowboy hat.
Doc Holliday, it says, just say when. Remember that scene from the White Herb from Tombstone?
Yeah.
And this right here, it says old school. But this right here is when I went to school in Soviet Union, we had to wear uniforms. Yeah, like not have to, but most of them did. Most of us did, and we had that patch, that book with the sun, representing the Enlightenment and studying and whatnot, on that uniform.
What kind of uniform was it? Like the Eddie Munster little uniform he wore?
Yeah, Eddie Munster. No, it was well, there was 2 types. For younger, for like middle school and elementary school, it was like a jacket with little aluminum buttons, kind of had the waist to it, and then buttons right here, and that little patch right here. Oh, 2 pockets here, and the navy blue, and the girls had the brown dress with apron, black apron for every day, and a white apron for like a holidays or some kind of
casual days.
Yeah, non-casual days. Yeah, and the on the kids' uniforms, that was the patch, and it says old school. So a lot of the guys that now, killing the Nazis, are now have that patch on.
Old school.
Yeah, well, because they
should put Will Ferrell on there.
Yeah. All right. Let's start.
Let's start this bad boy.
Welcome to Season 6 of the Talking Lead AK Corner, presented by Pioneer Arms Corp USA.
All right, AK heads, welcome back to July's edition of the Talking Lead AK Corner, presented by Pioneer Arms Corps, as you just heard from Tun's wife there on the intro. A lot of you probably didn't know that. I probably should have made that a trivia question: is who is the lady who does the intro for the Talking Lead AK Corner Season 6? It's Tun's wife. She's from Slovakia, I believe. So we got that accent. That's where that accent comes from. So welcome in, lead heads. And if you hadn't had an opportunity yet, make sure you go back to last month's AK Corner and listen to the show, because we talked SKSs, and we did that with my awesome co-host who knows anything and everything there is to know about AKs and Eastern Bloc guns and Western Bloc guns and Northern Bloc and Southern Bloc. He knows all about firearms, kit, gear, training. Ladies and gentlemen, it is your favorite historian and author, Marco Vorobiev. Welcome in, Marco.
Hey, nice to be back yet again.
Yet again.
Yet again.
The 7th edition this year.
All
July.
right.
This is like the big month, July. You know, everybody loves July because 4th of July, fireworks, summer, hot, get out in the sun, hit the water. Are you into the water sports at all? You like hitting the lakes or the oceans?
I got a boat, and I always had a boat. Every chance I got, I would buy a boat, and every chance I get, I put it in the water.
Well, there you go. So you're one of those people who actually use their boat when they.
Absolutely.
What kind of boat you guys? Like a ski boat or pontoon boat?
No, it's an older boat, but it was at one point it was one of this considered to be faster pleasure boats. It's a bow rider, but it's a 23-footer Arriva. And Arriva was bought by Bayliner as their like high performance line at one point, and then they just killed the brand. But yeah, it's got the big V8, you know, the 5.7 it is Mark Cruiser.
I would expect less from you. Speed. You're all about the speed, baby.
Not on the water much. I mean, maybe in the rivers when I around the river, because the river is a highway, right? So in the lake, especially if there's a lot of boat activity going on, so you got to be very, cautious. Not only because of the crisscross, jet skis everywhere, but also the waves that are created, the wakes and stuff, and some of the shallow hull boats might be, if not careful, taking on water. So the deep V holes are not susceptible to it, but susceptible, not that much, but in any case, you can break anything pretty much. But so the lake's a little different. Obviously, the ocean's really different. And then, of course, we got the Great Lakes, and those are different from each other.
Like oceans almost, right?
Yeah, yes and no in some regard. I mean, you can get the 10-foot swells, but the difference in the lake and the ocean, especially like Lake Superior, for example, those waves don't have much, or they got a shorter valleys between them, those waves, and then they come on the top of each other. And that's, if you're not accounting for it, you might get yourself in trouble.
Yeah. And I've been watching these documentaries where these people are doing the dives in the Great Lakes, and they're finding all these shipwrecks and
there's over 1,000 shipwrecks all along our shore in Lake Superior.
Yeah, and there's
over 1,000. The famous Edmund Fitzgerald. The place we go to usually, I swim. We go there and we spend about 10 days there. We have a property up there, and we usually go to this place called Grand Marais on the Lake Superior. And Grand Marais has a bunch of like trails and parks and things, something that's historic, like log slides and stuff, when there was when the timber industry was in its heyday. And so I make a point going and swimming in Lake Superior every year. One time, about 5 years ago, so maybe longer than that, about 7 years ago, we had really late start of the summer, and there were still icebergs floating in July in Sault Ste. Marie by the locks. So even then, I go in there and I still swim. And so where we usually go, which is by Hurricane River, where Hurricane River flows into Lake Superior, there is I want to say it's a early 1700s French flat bottom sloop wreck right there, right? Maybe 50 feet off the surf in there. You can actually go on it and kind of see what's going on I mean, all the all the wrought iron stuff and things like the huge nails that were handmade, and it's just pretty cool. I mean, you can actually see it through the water. The water is pretty clear from the shore if you don't want to get wet, but you can actually be on that wreck. And I believe it's a Jericho Marie is the name of the sloop. I could be wrong. Drop a little. Drop. Yeah, see those lakes right here? The three
Right.
lakes, a little round lake, and then the big lake looks like Soviet Union.
Yeah.
So see that little stop right there. See that you can't call it the divot, so to speak, on the north shore.
Mm-hmm.
On the tip of that divot is our property.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
So
Wow. I didn't know those were there. I've never even looked at this area before.
yeah, it's a Lake Manistee. That's the largest inland lake in the UP. But of course, obviously, you can see the map. There's a bunch of other lakes.
Oh yeah.
But if you go straight up, and then to the right, see that tip right there? Is that the Whitefish Point?
Yeah, right up here. Yeah.
Yeah, Whitefish Point. And if you follow it to the left, this is a very nice area. And they got, if you don't have black flies there, they got the Shipwreck Museum. The place is called Paradise. It's just freaking awesome. And keep on going to the left, you'll find Grand Marais. To the left and down, up a little. Keep going.
Grand Marnier, is that what I'm looking
Yeah, it's right here. I think it's right here. Where that little
Little lake?
cove is. Yeah. Right there. And then along that shore is just nothing but huge freaking sand dunes. I think it's called National Picture Rocks Lake Shore or something. Yeah, and that's a Hurricane River right there. See where it flows into
Yeah,
Lake
right.
Snake? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. That's a long ass river right there.
Yeah, you can't really call it a river. It's like freaking stream, really. A bunch of waterfalls and logs laying across and things like that.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people realize how beautiful the UP is and all the water and everything they've got up here. It's
Yeah, absolutely. It's absolutely is gorgeous. And the
Yeah.
best part about it, it's not crowded.
don't get a lot of tourists up that way.
They are, but not like, let's say, like a Boca Raton or something, or Tampa. Or,
They probably like it that way too. That way they don't get a lot of the tourist crap.
I mean, the people who live there, they want as many tourists as they can because that's what they
they
do.
make-
They work all summer to make the living when there's nobody up there in the winter, or very few people, hunters and some
I've been up there a
snowmobiles.
couple of times, and yeah, it was really beautiful. I had a good time. Water's cold though. Yeah.
It's only cold once you get in. A lot of people think that's under armpits is what gets you kind of like it's the last thing you gets used to cold water. No, it tips of your fingers.
Yeah.
Once you get in and once you kind of like adjust the balance. I mean, I stayed in that water in Lake Superior for over an hour. It wouldn't come out.
Yeah, but you're a Russian bear, Marco. So
Yeah, but I mean, we all have excuses.
So I hope everyone is having a great summer so far, lead heads. And I hope you enjoyed the last episode. It was a huge episode. We made some big announcements. One of those being the big discount code that CJ has offered. You can go and use the code AKKORNER at pioneerarmsus.com, and you're going to get an additional $25 off their firearms. This is for the firearms only. Additional $25 off plus 2 additional magazines on any of the firearms that you order from their website. They had a pretty good stock. I don't know how much they've sold. They've been selling quite a bit of product from their website, but if it's a blim, because they sell the blims there, they've got distributors that they send their regular inventory to. But again, like CJ said, the blims, They're just like cosmetic things, and they typically fix those. You can never tell that there was any kind of issue with them. So they've got the Hell Pup, not the Hell Puppy, but the Hell Pups. And we talked about the Hell Pup. I'm going to talk about it in just a minute. They've got Hell Pups. They've got Groms. They've got the 5.56. They've got your regular AKM 7.62s. They had PPS 43s. I don't know if they have any of those still or not, but he told you that they're not going to be making the PPS 43s anymore or the PM 63s. So if you get an opportunity to get those are going to be huge collector's items coming up. So take advantage of this code. If you're just kind of teetering right now on buying an AK, you're not going to go wrong with Pioneer Arms AK. These things, as we've told you time and time again, they've really stepped these things up in their production. They're 1-to-1 of the Kalashnikovs. They have the exact blueprints, and they're using the Kalashnikov blueprints to make these. So it's a 1-to-1 on the original Kalashnikov. So you're basically getting a Kalashnikov here from Pioneer Arms.
Here's another positive thing about it. First of all, so like you said, it's actual AKM that's built off of the tooling and the blueprints of the Russian Izhevsk when they gave it to Poland back in the late 50s, early 60s, whatever. And another thing is, like, a lot of people going, oh, the Zastava or Yugo, this and this. The Zastava and Yugo is a variant of a gun, the same way as would be like a Valmet from Finland or Galil from Israel.
Yeah.
So meaning that all of that cottage industry producing the different, the accessories, the furniture and stuff that fits on anything that's been spun off of Russian blueprints, like Romanian guns, East German guns, and this particular Polish gun would fit without any kind of fitment or grinding or whatever.
No tooling.
Whereas, you have to create a special Yugo subcategory to put anything on Serbian guns or Yugoslavian guns. So that kind of widens your range as far as looking for accessories and spending the less money on just the standard accessories rather than customized stuff for customized type or for not very proliferated rifle.
Exactly. So you're basically, like I said, I mean, it's a 1-to-1 AKM. So go get, and a lot of people have the problem with them being cast trunnions. They don't do that. They're forged trunnions. I mean, everything's forged now that they use as far as their trunions go. So
also, since CJ is not here, I'm sure he would interrupt you here, and
Sure.
And I'm going to have to defend him here. He would correct you.
Okay.
He would say it's not 1-to-1. It is an AKM rifle.
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
It's what it is. I mean, but
that wasn't me. That was CJ.
That's CJ. Yeah. Yeah. So, and I appreciate that. So go use this code. You're not going to get a better AK, and the prices are ridiculous because they're already marked down because they're, blim models. You're going to get an additional $25 off their price on their website, which they're already marked down, plus an additional 2 magazines. So go while supplies last and get those. And they're constantly updating the site as they get more inventory in. So if you're not seeing what you want there, just shoot them a message and tell them what you're looking for, and they'll let you know if they've got one or if they got one coming in, they can get you one. So take advantage of this now because, again, prices are only going to go up on AKs. We're seeing them go up. Now, we also talked about the release of the new Hell Puppy. This is their 7-inch AKM, and this is like the smallest AK that you're going to get, like CJ was telling you in the previous episode, without having to go in and modify a bunch of stuff. This is the shortest AKM that on the market today. Shorter than the mini Dracos, the Dracos, And theirs comes with this adapter on the back. It's got a sling adapter. Let me put it up to the camera there. And then they're going to have the Picatinny adapter. So you can just take this off and put the Picatinny adapter on there, and then you'll be able to do something like this with your Hell Puppy. So I don't have the sling adapter yet. I've used a different product that's on the market. I'm not going to talk about it, but that's what I've done there. And then you can put your different muzzle devices. This is one of their adapters that I put on there, the 308 adapters for your thread adapter. So you can throw your cans on there. You can throw your red dots. So this comes with it. This is, and we're going to talk about these rails, Marco. This is one that they send with their Hell Puppies. So you can change out your rear sight with this railed Picatinny adapter here, so you can throw on some optics. And then it comes with the ability to do the side mount also. I've changed my grip out. That's not the grip that you're going to get. But it's a Mission First. So I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but Mission First makes AK grips. They make really nice AK grips that I really like. So those aren't on their website yet, but they will probably be there soon. So go to their website, check it constantly. It's pioneerarmsus.com and use that code AKKORNER. I can't stress that enough. So CJ really takes care of you guys, especially with all the giveaways. We gave away 2 guns last episode. We gave away a PPS 43 and a what did we give? What was it? A 5.56 or 7.62? I think it was a 7.62 we gave away last episode. But he made the announcement that this episode we're going to be giving away. This is the July edition, the railed AK. Let me show you here. This is what's up for grabs today. So for everyone who paid attention to last month's episode, that's not it there. Where'd it go? Here it is. Is that showing up, Marco?
Yeah.
There it is. It's the 5.56 AKM. That's the one we're giving away there. It's railed. It's got a collapsible stock, and it's got the rail covers. So that is what's up for grabs today. And everybody who participated in our listener question post is going to be eligible for that awesome giveaway. And the Hell Puppy, this is going to be our big September giveaway. We're going to be giving away one of these in September. And Marco and I are going to tell you what you're going to have to do toward the end of the show to be entered to win the Hell Puppy. So excited about that. This episode, Marco, we're going to be talking about gear and how people should properly gear up and what kind of gear they should be looking at and investing in. And we've got a lot of listener questions, a lot of participation, but we'll get to those after we get Marco's take on properly gearing up.
Introducing our new belly band holster. Whether you're hitting the gym or running a quick errand, our belly band is one of the most comfortable and safest ways to carry your firearm. The center section allows you to carry most common pistols. Left or right-handed, this has you covered. A hard laminate trigger shield protects the firearm's trigger from unwanted intrusion, giving you ease of mind while carrying every day. 2 elastic sleeves give you the flexibility to carry other everyday items, such as spare mags, flashlight, knife, or pepper spray. 2 zippered pockets run on both sides, offering the option to carry smaller items, such as money, cards, or keys. Flush fit on your lower back or waist, easily keeping your setup discreet no matter how you choose to carry. Utilizing 3D spacer mesh, these channels allow for exceptional and efficient airflow, giving you maximum comfort and keeping you cool. Carry whenever you want, how you want, with our new belly band holster. Available now.
So, Marco, I'm going to turn it over to you now and let you educate our audience.
All right, I guess you know me, so I have to dive into history first, and then slowly move into my personal experience, and then into what's going on right now, and some of the suggestions. And again, so one thing to remember is nowadays that it's not like you issued something and you taught on it and trained on it, and then that's what they expect you to carry. Now there's a freedom given to that's anyone with I'm not talking to military guys. It's mostly to to civilians who can do whatever they want. But the one thing to remember is that you make that gear not because you saw it on TV or you saw it in some conflict, some soldier carrying it, but because it fits you. And it fits you and makes you more efficient to run your main tool, which is your gun. But anyway, back into history. So when the AKs first appeared, you got to realize, so they take the pedigree from World War II battles, right? And then you got to think that they replaced things like a PPSH, which was issued originally with 2 drums. They were numbered to the gun itself because they weren't always universally fitted to just any other gun. Chances are, I have PPSH and I have about 7 drums and only 2 fit. I can make them all fit, but I don't want to do it. So 2 of them fit perfectly, and that's how it was issued. So the number of magazines in during the World War II, but anyone who's been in a gunfight would tell you that there's not enough magazines, no matter how many you have, not enough. But anyway, so it's 2 72 round magazines, and the brass told that it would be enough, but it was a pain in the ass to load it, and literally took like a freaking 10 minutes to load one. Well, let's say 5 minutes even. It's way too long. So anyway, so when AKs were first issued, they were issued with 3 magazines. 1 in the gun and 2 in the pouch. Unfortunately, I don't have that old original pouch that came with the AK-47 Type 3 that they finally adopted. But shortly thereafter, they switched to a 3 cell or 3 magazine pouch, like something like this, right? So we have 3 magazines in there. Then we have accessory pocket that is, in my case, has the cleaning kit in.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But we remember that the original AKs with wood stock had that spring-loaded trapdoor. Mm-hmm. So this could have been used for other things, like let's say detonators or something. And of course, you got another pouch right here, which held the oil bottle for you to maintain your gun.
Okay.
So it had 2 belt loops, right? And you carried it on your right side, a front right side on your belt. The problem with this is I'm like easily manipulating because the magazines are not full. They don't have the 90 rounds in them.
Is that like a canvas material?
Yeah, it's a canvas, kind of rough canvas material.
Yeah.
It's durable. It would last you for a long time. The leathers, the little toggles will wear out probably before the actual canvas. Russians always knew how to make canvas stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, and it's even double enforced on the bottom, so that's kind of maybe protected from moisture or something like that.
Yeah.
But in any case, the problem with this I have no problem carrying this actually. And but the biggest problem with this particular one, this is Marines, for Russian Marines issue, black toggles and things like that.
Yeah.
Is that if your belt is not tight, or if it's one that's like a lot of times the Russian soldiers prefer the leather belts versus that ersatz leather, it would always slide to where the twinkle and berries usually reside.
The twinkle and berries.
And if you run, especially if you run, I mean, that thing inadvertently will go over there and it would bounce like this.
Yeah.
So it's like, and none of you are issued the standard issue, military issue, boxing groin protector. So, but anyway, but originally though, because you had a grenade pouch holding 2 grenades on the other side, and bayonet hanging off a belt. The belt was a utilitarian thing that actually was issued originally with suspenders. Again, made out of rubberized canvas. Appears like a leather type thing, but it is rubberized canvas.
Yeah.
And of course, that helped a big deal. So it kept, so it would be connected between these 2 loops to your belt, and it would prevent it from sliding anywhere, keep it in place. Some of them were actually issued with the little metal loop right here in the back where you would thread your suspenders, white suspenders, across it. White suspenders, of course, were excellent, but they were dying at the time I was in the service. And the reason for that is because it's like, you know, you're supposed to attach your canteen, your the little food pot and stuff to it, to your entrenching tool to it on the back, your poncho, you know, half shelter in the back and stuff. It's like kind of too cumbersome where a unit would just have to grab their guns, their magazine pouches, and go out to the range, and you know, just have spend a day at the range instead of loading that thing up. But in any case, with the onset of with the introduction of AK-74, this pouch right here changed. So notice that it's kind of like thicker. The fabric is a lot softer, so it's easier to manufacture, and little accessory cleaning kit pouch disappeared. But
Yeah.
it now had 4 cells.
Okay.
And if anybody's watching it, can right away tell me that I'm full of shit and there's no 4 magazines in it. It's supposed to be still three magazines in it, but the 4th pocket was supposed to have a 3 stripper clips full of rounds on it and a spoon, for which it's got a special pocket. And if you could see the stitching right here, see it?
Yeah.
That's where your empty stripper clips will go after you're done loading a magazine.
So you have those pockets on the outside for your empty stripper clips.
Well, they kind of on the inside that 4th pocket.
Oh, they're stitched on the inside. Okay.
Right.
Gotcha.
So let me ask you, like they say in New York,
Question.
what in the world were you thinking when you came up with this? Why not just give another magazine and put in there? Why do you have to put 30 rounds in the stripper clips so you would eventually load it into an empty magazine? Why not just have another mag? That's a question that scientists and historians will argue about probably for the next 200 years. But here's the interesting thing. So on the onset of Afghan war, of course, that was the equipment that was issued to Soviet soldiers at large, that is. Not the special forces, not the airborne stuff, which we talk separately here in a minute. But the airborne troops too en masse, like the infantry units, and mainly the motorized infantry. And once they start capturing Mujahideen loadouts, and mind you, Mujahideen were not this freaking super soldiers that were equipped to the last freaking thing. They still had the freaking black powder rifles. As you would not believe how many of those Karamultuks we would capture from them. With had the fucking the what do you call it? Is it every the elephant tusk incrustation in it?
Ivory.
Ivory. God damn, I mean old. I'm getting old. I'm getting old. I'm still sharp, but I'm old. I can't
Sharp as a
speak.
butter knife, buddy. Keep going. You're doing good. Keep
So
going.
anyway, start capturing those Chinese rigs, right? The chest rigs, and they became immensely popular. But it's not like unit of, let's say, a company size unit, like 100 to 120 soldiers will go out and kill like 150 mujahideen, so they all can re-equip themselves with the chest rigs. Mind you, not every freaking mujahideen had it. But nevertheless, those lucky ones, especially like, special forces, so scout units that were in the forwarded areas and that were intercepting the convoys and things like that, they would often wind up with those things. Also, those were passed from soldier to soldier, meaning one of them gets discharged and goes home. He gives his gear to his friend who still got some time to go, and so on and so on. And so they became very popular. They were true chest rigs. So let's address that.
Okay. Chest rigs.
Yeah, because what you see now is no longer a chest rig. It's all belly rig.
Yeah.
And it's the worst thing you can do to your loadout and to where all of your shit where your gut is. And the reason for that is try to fucking squeeze into a hatch of any kind of APC with that shit on.
It definitely hinders your movement. Yeah.
Yeah, try to drop and make yourself flat because the fucking mortar rounds going off around you. You'll be like a freaking seesaw bouncing back and forth on that thing. So the chest rig was supposed to be in the chest right here, right? Because when you're on your elbows, all that shit is accessible. Not here in the gut where once you plop on it, first of all, your ass is up in the air, bound to be shut off, and then the other one you lay in and you load out that you're supposed to be pulling out when you do the reload.
Why do they do that?
Because majority of the shit that they did in Iraq and Afghanistan was foot patrols.
I got you.
And then in the war, look what's going on in the whatever, that fucking Fourth Reich right now. So if you look at the soldiers, majority of them don't have their loadouts in front of them. If they do, it would be singular magazines, like a single flat magazine, which I address in a second here. But this is what learning from that, so Russian soldiers would do. They would sew these things together. Then attach some like discarded slings from AKs.
Yeah.
Make the crisscross straps on the back, and then another one around the waist. So there was a lot of self-made pouches that were actually made in Afghanistan by Soviet soldiers. The best one was, there's this RD-54. See if you can pull it up. RD-54. Well, this is a good example of a guy that's some kind of reenactor or something, But anyway, so he has a RD-54 on him, but he doesn't have those two magazine pouches attached to it because it was already removed. But RD-54, see if you can pull it up. RD-54 Soviet airborne backpack. It came as this rig that you put on over your parachute, which your backpack then becomes the butt pack. It's hanging off your butt. Right. Oh, perfect. Second row to the left is a good example.
This one?
Right. Yeah. So you see, you got the double grenade, the one of your suspenders attached to double grenade pouch on the left, and then double magazine pouch on the right. Again, Soviet fucking way of thinking. Two magazines, one in the gun, two as a spare magazines. What the fuck, they say. But anyway, so people will take those off, right?
Yeah.
Then find another discarded one or steal it off somewhere, and then they sew the 2 magazine pouches together, making it the 4 mag pouch. Then they sewed the 2 grenade pouches to its side, on each side, and then slings and straps or whatever to make it into a proper 4 magazine chest rig with 4 grenades, sort of mimicking the Type 56 Chicom chest rig. So that was the most popular self-made pouch. Also, early on, so every APC that Russia made was a water type of APC that could actually float like a fucking boat. And as such, there was a ample supply of life preservers in the hull of that thing. So the soldiers would steal those fucking things because it was military. It was that OD green color. It wasn't orange or anything.
Yeah.
And then they had individual pockets that were stuffed with flotation type of devices, looks like a vacuum sealed plastic thingy. So they obviously caught them, took the things out, and it fit magazine just right. So they would make those things like a load-bearing vest.
Chest rig out of their life preserver vest.
Exactly.
That's
so
awesome.
That was done. And then in 85 rather, Russians finally made their Poyas A and Poyas B, which is the chest rig, and as an accessory, the GP25 grenade belt was attached to the bottom of it. And they made the first. It carried, let's see if I remember right, I believe it's carried 8 magazines actually.
And what was it called?
It was called Poyas. Poyas means a sash or belt.
Spell that.
Poyas.
P-O-I.
No, Poyas. Poy.
Got it.
Poyas A and Poyas.
Here we go.
Poyas B. So here in the chat. Anyway, and you can probably find it. Let me.
Yeah, I got it here.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
So they made that, and by the time I arrived there, which was the fall of October of 1985, I was already issued one.
Is that it?
Yep, that's a Poyas A. And then there was but it's the second version. The first version had the snaps on it instead of those leather toggles.
The little tabs? Okay.
Mm-hmm. And see those 2 on the bottom? That's where you attach your Poyas B if you were a grenadier with the GP25 grenade launcher. So, So was still to be considered a chest rig because you wore it high up in the chest. Yeah, it was a 6 mags, not 8 mags. 6 mags, sorry. But they were double stacked. And at that point, they were kind of getting a little weird because, you have this stuff that was sticking out, 2 magazines. And
here's one with the snaps.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That's the one. Hey, hello, remember me?
Hello, old friend.
Yeah. But they had a few things. They had see those, the flares, the spot to put the flares in.
Yeah.
And you carried your IFAK in one of those grenade pouches and things like that. So, yeah, that's the one.
Padded. It's got nice
padding. It wasn't like what the modern people do now. They do research, and then they have all kinds of resources available to them. But in a hurry, which took them 5 fucking years. But in a hurry, and with the stuff they had, they actually did a pretty decent job. So, of course,
about where you could do the attachment here. Let me pull it up but continue.
So, yeah, there you go. That's your Poise B. Yeah. And so other things that they use, obviously they used a lot of, especially pretty much the entire Spetsnaz Corps and majority of airborne and motorized infantry, divisional recon and scout units already had the Type 56 or some Pakistani versions of it. The Type 56 of the Chikov thing was also designed for 3 magazines. And this is what it kind of limited, is how much ammo loaded in the magazine you could carry. Obviously, you had a lot of loose ammo in the packs that you'll be bringing with you, or maybe if it's a unit and it's had enough mules, which you were a mule, to carry, then there would be like those tin cans and stuff, spam cans of ammo and stuff to carry with you. But the more magazines you can load with you and be ready, you're a little bit more efficient and effective. And so the Chicom chest rigs were made out of this like kind of like canvas, but it wasn't like a Soviet canvas. It was this Chinese really tight canvas. And to make it, and some of them came with, some of them were, and I'm thinking those were Pakistanis. They had a four magazine pouches in it instead of 3, but majority of them were 3.
Yeah.
And what the Soviet soldiers did was they would boil it in the boiling water, in the hot water, boil it, and then take 2 mags and shove them side by side into everything, like as much as you can, and let it dry. And at that point, you could somewhat fit more mags into a single mag pouch. So you can, one more mag, like let's say, make it maybe a 5 or a 4 mag type of rig, where it was, you can also shove your flares in it and other things. So yeah, the soldiers did a lot of self-fitting, building.
Self-modifications to
Modifications, right.
to
So-
suit the battlefield need. Yeah.
But so out of that comes the whole there you go, that's a 4 magazine pouch. But out of this comes the whole culture of chest rigs. And the Soviets kind of solved the issue by the 1985, and then start issuing those modifications, the Poise I, Poise B, to their soldiers, but not to regular infantry guys, but those like a storm, assault guys and
Had to be
Spetsnaz.
specialized units.
Right, because we obviously see when Russia first rolled into Chechnya back in 1994, you could see that those guys still carried those old 3 and 4 mag pouches that were hanging in the belt. But at that point in the 90s, a lot of commercial entities started to participate, and saw the chance for them to make money in doing, designing their own stuff. That's where that Smash comes from, by the way. And they basically, they took the concept. It has to be in the chest. You have to have adjustable straps, and you got to have one adjustable around the waist, or I guess the back. And there's a variety of them came in, like one chest rig called Pioneer, for example, and a bunch of other stuff. And I have it all in my things. I would have destroyed the whole fucking basement here just looking for it. So anyway, they would have this long flaps with the long Velcro and like, to get the mags out. Velcro is an effective thing to have, but not the long Velcros where you have to go, and make the freaking noise. Usually a regular toggle would be better because it's quiet.
Right.
So anyway, going to the U.S. kind of went with their load-bearing stuff. There was like this vest with some SN9, some MOLLE stuff and single pouches and whatnot. And that was discarded to a more of like a realization that that shit has to go over body armor. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So once they start issuing the body armor, like the Interceptor especially, they already had a full thing of MOLLE straps, and they have to redesign the Alice, switch from Alice attachment, which was kind of okay solution to make a certain military equipment modular. So you can put, instead of this, you can put this here. Instead of that, you can put this thing. And at the same time, you can attach it to the belt. Belt was very important at that point because that's where you carry your bayonet and your sidearm and all that. But, obviously through Vietnam War, the U.S. used what the Russians used at the end of World War II, those Y suspenders. The only difference was the U.S. was using maybe a lighter and more modern nylon strapping and all that stuff. But anyway, so the Afghan War and the Vietnam War showed the effectiveness of a chest rigs, right? To carry it on the chest. And so it doesn't interfere with the rest of your equipment and so on and so on. Oh yeah, this is a, I have that and I hate it. But it's you have to be trained for about a month how to use that fucking thing, and still it only had 3 magazine pouches, but it had like 11 of different other pouches that you had to put your IFAK here, your tourniquet here, your freaking detonators right here. Here's your grenades. Here's your even in the back. If you look, you can show this thing in the back. There's no freaking way you can reach to it. But to put it on or take it off, it's a procedure itself. It's sort of like you would put it over your head, then you first got to secure the back side of that thing to yourself.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a life vest, like trying to put on a life vest.
No, even worse. I mean, it's the most useless fucking thing. It looked cool, and it worked good because it was designed for the airborne, and it was designed to be worn under all the other stuff, including parachute, so it wouldn't interfere, and you carried most of your stuff with you. It's sort of, what it. I think during World War II, the British carried a vest over. Yeah, there you go. So you had to have 2 canteens in the back, and it's more for like dropping you behind the enemy line, and supposedly you have everything you need. And also the U.S. Rangers that actually landed on the Normandy, they had that vest that had things in it.
Lord.
Bunch of pockets and everything in it. And it's kind of like a take on that, but it was, I would say, although it was issued in mass to the airborne troops, it was not a successful or good. So as it evolves from commercially offered chest rigs, right? U.S. industry, which is full of great innovators and designers, and it has a full access to range of materials, start to produce stuff. And one of these guys there's obviously the Chinese, like Condor and UTG, something else, all this Chinese stuff. It's Chinese stuff. But there's a guy called These Combat Systems. And he makes this thing. And of course, this is kind of loadout that I kind of built together, but it's narrow, and it's 1 mag per pouch. It's 5 magazines. It sits high and it wraps around your chest right there where they all accessible. Of course, I built it differently. I actually ruined it. Not ruined it, but made it better for me. And that's next chapter in our discussion here. But anyway, so it sits high.
Camera down a little bit, or is it not, or stand up maybe? We can see it. Oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah. Okay.
So it's BCS, Biz Combat Systems. I'm not a paid spokesman. We cooperated with him on building SVD chest rig. It literally called Marco's chest rig. But so this right here is built for something different, and I explain in the next chapter. But anyway, in its original form, he would have the straps going on the, both of my shoulders, connecting to the side strap, and it sits high and flat. That's the biggest thing. And then you got a 5 mags in it. And
Spell the name of that company again?
It's a bees, like bees,
BES.
Right. Combat Systems.
All right. I'll pull that up while you're talking.
Okay, so if I had to criticize him for one thing, and one thing only, that would be, and again, hear me out, all those boys and girls in TV land, don't be like that. Don't use so-called H strap for chest rigs.
H strap.
Mm-hmm.
Don't use the H strap.
Instead of the crisscross on the back like a Chicom and the Soviet chest rigs, right? The back straps, that come across over your shoulders and then in the back. Somebody decided to make them run just kind of parallel all the way down to the side strap, and then have this H or
a connecting
strap where it rides right on your bone right here. And people who do a lot of squats and stuff know all about it.
Yeah.
This is the worst fucking place to put any kind of pressure on carrying anything heavy.
Yeah.
It will tire you out like you would not believe in. Like at first 10 minutes, you'll be saying, Sarge, I can't carry this no more.
And give you a big fucking headache.
They might just shoot you and leave you by the side of the road and share your shit among the unit. But in reality, though, so what I did was when he sent me this thing, which I'm grateful to him, he and I can talk about the features of it, but it's full of features. It's awesome. It's so modular. You can build it and stuff. Yeah, there it is.
Is this the Marco rig?
No, the one, I think this is it right here. That's the Marco's rig right here. Oh, maybe. Yeah, both of them are. Yes, that's a Marco. Oh, fucker. He took a Marco off. All right, fine.
Son of a bitch.
Right. Anyway, see, that's got the H on it, but inadvertently it's going to ride up, and it would actually be on that bump of your spine.
Gravity, right? Because gravity,
right,
you got all your weight here on the front pouches and all that. It's going to be bringing that in the back up.
So what I did was I took a scissors and cut that fucker out and crisscrossed the straps.
There you go.
And that's it. And it worked like a charm. But, so that's one. The other one is this one. And it was given to us at one of the SHOT shows and by a good friend of ours. That he's not there anymore in the company, but I think he's the star at the company and sold it.
Yeah.
And this is called low profile chest rig, like simplistic chest rig built by the Spec Ops brand.
Spec Ops brand, okay.
Right. This is an 8 magazine pouch. Okay, it's also kind of small, as you can see. This is it right here. It sits high again. Again, it had to be modified, but what he did was he installed a little, he has a proprietary strapping that is only gives like 10% flexibility right here. And so he built it into straps, which kind of like maybe helps you if you mount an antelope and jump from rock to rock and stuff. But in any case, so this is the rig, and again, I turn it into something more useful. And so you could see the IFAC is here. You got the dump pouch, and I explained to you why I did that and for what purpose. Definitely, if it was just a chest rig, none of the shit would be on it. Just the magazines.
Right.
But next chapter.
Next chapter. All right.
All right. So
and Spec Ops makes that one?
Yes, Spec Ops brand it's called.
Okay. I tried to find them, and this is what came up. It was on
Spec Ops brand. You got to add brand to it.
Okay.
I can't just find the label on the thing. Maybe I already cut it off. Spec Ops brand. Did you find it?
SpecOps.us. Looks like this is it.
It could be.
Here we go. Does that look right?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Okay. There we go. So it's SpecOps.us if you guys want to look that up as you're listening here.
Right, 1P and Ops. They make a lot of good stuff, actually.
It's like seasoning a cast iron skillet. Use it that few times and it builds up in there. Our product, CLP Plus, is a bio-based, non-toxic, complete gun care. Your cleaning time will be reduced by over 50%. I like to say it's a clean shoot, clean shoot, clean shoot for it to fully remove whatever product you've had on there before. It's like seasoning a cast iron skillet. So all I like to do is you'll field strip it like this, go piece by piece. Basically all I do, I'll take the nylon brush into the paste and you start covering. Come back, clean each piece, and then even on the handles, on the outside and on the inside. With our product, you wipe it all off. You don't leave any on there from grains and all, stick it in. It's safe on all metals, plastics, composites, wood, rubber, leather. I just use a nylon brush and then a bore jag with one of our pre-saturated patches. You put it in, swipe, coming back, you can see what it's pulled out. And this was a brand new firearm. With our product, your malfunctions from carbon buildup are virtually eliminated because carbon will not be building up. There's nothing to stick to. And all of our product is USA source and made. Grab the microfiber cloth and back and you'll wipe it off, and you'll wipe all the product off now. There you go. It's that simple.
But anyway, so now we're moving on to modern conflicts, right? And modern conflicts, and like I already mentioned before, if you look at the videos of what's happening in the
Ukraine?
Wachovia, whatever the fucking made up place is.
Wakanda?
Wakanda. You'll see that first of all, everyone wears armor. Everyone. Okay? And if you wear armor, then, you inadvertently become a lot thicker. And it also extremely fucking heavy.
Yeah.
Okay? And then more shit you put on it, on your armor vest, the more cumbersome it becomes and more restrictive as far as your movement is concerned it becomes. Or restricting, I should say.
So I wonder how it works. Yeah.
So if you look at the guys that are now in the battlefield, you won't see any fucking magazines in front.
Yeah.
But you'll see them on the side.
On the sides.
Right, on both sides.
Along
with tourniquets and IPAC and stuff, so it could be reachable by both hands.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Satchel, the name, the like Elmo says, the word of the day is satchel.
I don't even know why
Starts
you're
with
watching
C.
Elmo.
I had 2 kids, man. You know,
Okay.
la 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 Elmo song. And the satchel, the idea of a satchel is this. First of all, you put it to your side,
Yeah.
exactly where you want it, to your so-called weak hand or strong hand, depending how you're gonna reload your gun. The second thing to a satchel is you can take it off anytime you want and put it back on without removing your body armor. It just stays with you. Instead of that cumbersome shit that you have to go sideways somewhere or can't even get through the freaking door because you're carrying this crap on you. This stuff you carry it a certain way on you when you, let's say on foot, you sit down in the car or truck or whatever, you can shift it to your gut so it doesn't interfere with you sitting, and so on and so on. It becomes a separate bandolier, if you will. I mean,
Yeah.
US had those things.
Yeah.
So it comes across here, and then you got your side strap that goes around your entire rig. Click, click, Nexus buttons, and it comes off. Click, click back in, go over your head, and that's it. So you can modify. The beauty of this setup is you can modify it. That's what I did with both. The Spec Up is now a satchel,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And it goes over my hand, over the armor. It sits
Over the armor.
right over here. I can set up my IFAK right here or here. Doesn't matter which way. I got the extra grenades if I need to. I don't. And a dump pouch on it. So, and then if I don't need it again, I got the Nexus buckles to undo the strapping, take it off. Or if I'm like right now, I'm sitting on the chair, so it's kind of like on my side, and then I can put it in the front.
It's not in camera view right now, just so you know. But yeah, getting the idea.
And the same thing I
What
did
brand
with
is that, Marco? Is that a specific brand that you're using there for your satchel?
that's Spec Up. That's the one I was telling you about.
Okay,
I turned it from a chest rig to a satchel rig.
Okay.
All right, and the same I did with the Buzz, the Bs, I mean, BCS. And the only thing is it's longer, right? That one is a little more compact, but it's flatter. So I attached 2 more.
Get a little more real
Right
estate
here.
on that one. Yeah.
So
There
you can.
There you go. Yeah. Now we can see it good. Yeah.
Right. So again, it's not attached to your body armor, so you can. You know what I mean?
You're more flexible, you can adjust it as the situation dictates. It's
Exactly.
not
But
fixed that way. Yeah.
a few years ago, my older son, who is works for OSC and stuff,
Uh-huh.
he gave me a gift.
Well,
And when I opened it up, I was like, wow, Brendan. And this is a low profile 3 mag, right? Satchel rig. Whatever. Satchel rig.
Yeah.
Right here that can go under you, like if you have like a, let's say, Hawaiian shirt or something over. You wouldn't even see it.
or a winter
and
coat or whatever. Yeah.
Right. It's made by UW Gear.
UW Gear. Okay.
I warn you, it's worth it. It's awesomely built. It's just unbelievable freaking thing. And the beauty of it is, you already have your little loadout. It's like an additional 3 mags that you can throw over your body, over your head and stuff, and have it.
Here they are. UW Gear right here.
Right, there you go. Problem, though, is he usually sells out a year ahead of time. So, I mean, there's a huge line. That was the AK-74. This is AKM, the 7.62 rig. I have them both. Totally worth it. But let's say you put it in order and he says your order will come in 6 months from now. Right? He does chest rigs too, by the way. Again, see that H strap? Get rid of it. Make it an X strap. Basically cutting it off and then swapping the crisscrossing the straps. And then you say, okay, well, but what do I do meanwhile? Right? And this is what you do meanwhile. You take the two placards, stagger them a little, right?
Stack them.
Attach G rings to your molly stuff in the back. Get your camera bag strap and then attach your other strap to other G rings so it goes around your body.
The waist.
And it's basically so you build yourself 6 AK mags. And it's a satchel. And it costs you in DRMO, whatever, where you go to local military base and pick up these things for $5 a piece or whatever.
Yeah.
You already have a strap. And then you make it.
Nice.
Here's another version of it.
I like that. You improvised. Yeah.
Well, remember the whole story about how the Russian soldiers did it in Afghanistan?
Yeah.
The needle, thread and needle. Here's a United States Marine 4 magazine pouch. This is Polish PPSH strap where you can do whatever other strap. And this is your additional bandolier.
Yeah.
And then, so easy. It's there, your fingertips in a way. And then I just won something on one of those gun auctions. And it came with that gun.
It came with a gun?
Yeah, this thing.
It came with a gun?
Yeah, it was like a part of the auction, like a lot.
Oh, okay, I got you.
It's a six. Yeah, it's like a 6 pouch, 6 mag pouch. It has a handle already, a strap. The only thing that's missing is the strap that goes around your waist, and that's important to have that strap so it doesn't, when you run,
bend over,
or whatever, it doesn't slide. It stays in place.
Yeah,
and the tighter that strap is, the better it is. So basically what I'm saying is this. So what I showed here and what I said, well, I do this and I do that, all that for illustration, because I don't fight wars anymore. And I don't really need it. But, but I do train people. I, write articles, and I need some, ambience, and so on and so on. But it's a function. When I do something like this, I build it into functional stuff. So if, in fact, it's going to be used, then it needs to be used properly. And the idea is to remember, is to figure out how you operate, how you work, how your body works, how you, which hand you use to, what is this, like the terrorist.com website?
Terrorist.com.
What the fuck is that? But anyway, so I'll just carry on.
Yes.
How your body works, how you reload your gun. Two things that I'm going to say about the reloading the gun. If you stand there, like they teach you in carbine course, and yell, "Empty!" I'm like, "Reloading!" Right? And then stand there and do this shit with the mag where you flick the mag out and then you put mag in, supposedly like saving 0.56 seconds, right? Then, after you did this, you do this, go underneath the gun using your thumb to recycle your gun to load next round, the thing in. then you are a grandmaster of New York City LGBTQ Pride Parade,
Okay.
also known as a rotten tomato, potato, whatever. But so don't do that. All you boys and girls in TV land, don't be like that guy. Don't do it. Make as soon as you go click, you make yourself as small as possible. If there's any kind of whatever, dumpster, barrel of some sort, like a 50-gallon drum, corner of the building, duck under it, behind it. Then you reload your mag. Then you cycle your gun properly by tilting it on its side and using your hand where you can control and cycle it. Or use your right hand if you're right-handed to cycle it. Then you continue. Okay, because as soon as you go click and you stand there, you basically make an awesome full-size human silhouette target. But anyway, so don't be grandmaster of Pride Parade, and do it correctly. All right.
There you go.
Then so build a rig the way you can, the way it works for you the best. Carrying the shit around your gut is not a good solution. If you're like me, especially like an older guy that's starting to kind of shrink but grow in one particular area, which is below your nipples, adding 6 more inches to that fucking space right there is gonna make you not faster operator, but the cumbersome one. But since it's already a shelf there, put your mags on the shelf and bring them up a little. So this way, if you
your advantage, right?
Right, if you so know your body, know your gun, know your gear. So build it to the way you can do it. And I'll just show you a few cheap ways of to build something out of surplus shit that's laying around, and then make it an effective piece of gear. Also, another thing is, don't try, once you yank the mag out of the cell of those modern pouches, don't try to put the empty one back in it. Don't try to throw it away, because you're going to need it to reload it again. Because there's not going to be a Black Hawk or some other freaking helicopter going to constantly be dropping ammo drops right behind you as you advance.
Mm-hmm.
So have a dump pouch.
Yep.
And have it somewhere where you can just put your empties and shit in there, and then carry on. So that's my spiel for today.
That's your spiel. That's a good spiel. So I think we get into listener questions. That's probably going to bring out some other topics for us to kind of to get into when we're talking about gearing up. So why don't we just go ahead and do that then? And I'll bring up the grams. So I made a post like I do before every episode. And this is how, again, one of the ways that you can participate and get in on our giveaways. And as I said, this episode's giveaway is huge, and it is a 5.56 railed 5.56. It's got the metal Picatinny rail, so you can mount your optics and your lights and all your cool things that you like to mount. And then it's got a collapsible buttstock, adjustable rear buttstock on it too. So 5.56. Those are hot right now. People are liking their 5.56. So
the only reason why they like them is because 5.05 ammo disappeared. However, tail ammo brings the brand new manufacturer, sporting, hunting, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, if 5.45 were more accessible and we could get it, and at a reasonable price, then then they would be more 5.45s out there.
Yeah, so and that's the only reason why 223 AKs became really one of the best selling AKs right now. So Yeah. Because
Let's
the
see.
ballistics on it is, if you look at this graph right here, so, and then move on to the next one, it clearly illustrates. I'm just fucking, this is a Hornady stuff.
All right. First question or comment. This is from Snuggly Spetsnaz 04.
Okay.
I imported an early gen SBRUYA partisan that I use for both my KP9 and my PSA AK. It is addicting. And she sent in, and this is Snuggly Spetsnaz. She does the competition shooting. And her and her dad take part in a lot of AK events. Did that come up? It hasn't come up yet. Here we go. There it is. That's her wearing her. And how do you say SBRUYA, Marco? Is there?
Hang on. What'd you say? SBR.
UYA.
Oh, Zbroja. Okay. It's just a model. Zbroja means, in Russian, that means something that, well, it's two meanings. One, Zbroja, it's something you put on the horse, like the horse bridle, whatever you call it, and all the harnessing, right?
Yeah.
Also was referred to the soldier loadout.
Okay.
Zbroja, yeah. Partisan means partisan, like a guerrilla, lives in the forest, hits the Wehrmacht convoys real hard, and goes back in the forest. Partisan. Okay, very commendable.
Very good. Very good.
See, that's one example which kind of underlines what I was saying. This lady found something that works for her. Well, maybe it didn't work in the beginning until she started training with it, and now she's saying it's addicting because she mastered it. That's her rig right now. And to switch her to anything else or try to force something else on her would be totally...
be uncomfortable for her.
I'm looking for something a little better, like politically incorrect.
Travis.
or travesty, or something that is dumb, D-U-M.
Wouldn't be doing her
anybody any favors.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. So it would get completely wrong. So she found a rig that works for her, for what she does, right? Which is competition, which is, different than, let's say, in assaulting a stronghold.
Yeah.
Or doing something else. So there you go. Good example.
So we've got several that are along the same lines. I've just kind of scanned through here. One of the a lot of people are asking, what's the best chest rig, favorite chest rig and setup? So
B's combat systems.
That's your favorite? That's your go-to?
Well, I just did the whole thing on it. It's flat, 5 mags across the upper chest, flat. The only negative thing I would say about it, modify the H strap on the back, just simply by cutting it off, and then on the back switching the buckles, making it the X strap. And that's it. The rest of it is, it's flat, it's up around your chest, it's not cumbersome. Well, then again, I got a wide chest, but it's good. So BCS, I only met the guy once. We cooperated on the SVD rig years ago, like let's say 8 or 9 years ago. But as far as I'm using his product.
Very good. And then to add to that, do you prefer fold over flaps or the open top retention type?
Okay. I do both. It doesn't matter to me, but you have to be aware of what you're wearing. Meaning, like I mentioned, those big Velcro shit I don't like because they make noise. They could easily be, by you rubbing on something, it can be undone. The easiest ones, obviously, is open top, right? But here's a good example. I just did my bees rig. Those cords, the elastic cords that retain the magazines in.
Little bungees, yeah.
Bungees, they don't last. They might not even last 6 months.
Mm.
But they're easy to replace if you have a bowl of them, so you can just cut them and thread them through, tie them up, and there you go again. They the easiest ones to use. However, if you operate in like let's say in a thick brush, where you might have to crawl, or in some kind of like bombed out dwellings and things like that, you might be losing some magazines. It's number one, or damaging the magazines. That would render your gun useless. So the flaps also work well, but there's a flap and there's a flop, right? So we talked about the Velcro. These guys right here, UW gear, use the interesting old school flaps where you pull them out. It's not a hook, but it's like the plastic sewn into it. Yeah, there you go. And then you just
Molly.
What is it?
Molly.
Is that a Molly?
It's basically like a Molly strap where you would put that in a Molly strap. Yeah, it's like a retention.
It's actually I've seen it way before the Molly and some other. But anyway, yeah, underfolded stuff.
Yeah, it's like a nylon strap that you just tuck into a
behind into that
like a Molly
webbing.
Yeah, like a Molly strap.
Yeah, so that's quiet, easy. Another thing is like, okay, a lot of people like to use buckles and freaking Velcro and all these modern things that the scientists, British scientists, came up with for combat gear, right? But here you are in some kind of freaking dugout with a bunch of your guys, and you took your stuff off, and some fucker coming off because he was being relieved from the watch and steps on your Nexus buckle and it crushes it. Now your piece of gear is fucking useless, right?
Yeah.
If it's like a load-bearing buckle, if it's a retaining buckle, also it's no longer useful. And to repair it in the field conditions would be impossible, because you have another buckle. It's part of your loadout and whatever. Which brings me to this ingenious shit that was designed back in like God only knows when, the probably by samurai called Yasuhiro or something, and which is the wooden toggle and the loop, right? The Chinese chest rig, right? You tear that thing off, you take a twig, your knife, you whittle it out, put it back on, sew it back on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so you also you have to be careful as to how, in quotes, modern your gear is. Like somebody was like talking to me, it's like, look at this and this. Yeah, he came up at the end. He came up with an awesome sling. I'm not gonna mention the guy.
Okay.
But it's a sling that had all the features in it, except they had a plastic Nexus fucking buckles.
Oh.
And I just did it. I demonstrated right there. He gave me one, like a gift, right? Like here. He used this, tell me what you think. And I said, it's probably most usable sling I ever seen. But check this out. And I put the buckle down and I stepped on it and it broke. And I said, and now I need a new one. And he was like, oh, look. And then he kind of like took it as an assault. But then he sent me a new one with the Cobra buckles. And he said, what do you think now? I said, you achieved perfection, my friend. So, you know what I mean? So you got to be careful as to what materials or devices you use for your rigs. And so the simpler it is, usually the better it is.
Absolutely.
But then again, if you a soldier serving somewhere as an assault unit is one thing. If you just running a 3-gun competition is another thing, or AK competition that Kalash Bash or whatever, and so sort of like make sure your gear fits the purpose.
All right, next question. Mustang Perry says, I second almost every question asked already. Should the number of mags carried vary between 5.56, 5.45 AKs and 7.62? What is everyone's preferred modern chest rig plate carrier? We talked about that. Sling preferences. There's several questions about slings here. I'm not sure I understand the first part of his question there.
I think he's saying, is there a difference in how many magazines you should be carrying between 7.62 and 5.56?
Okay.
Probably the same for 5.45 or not. So here's one way to answer this question. You should carry as many magazines as you can possibly carry, whether it's 50 caliber or 22. And idea being that like a 600 round loadout, right? You can possibly have 20 magazines on you, but let's say you have like maybe 10, per se. And the 10, that's the 300 rounds. That's about 20 minutes of intense gunfight. Okay, especially the ones that there's a reason why U.S. military or Army, at least, are not teaching the full auto gunfire anymore. It's because they think it's a all sweeping freaking magic wand, and they start doing this thing. So swaying back and forth and stuff instead of actually aiming the rifle and hitting the target that they're aiming at, which is taught how to do with full auto fire in Soviet, back then, and then the Russian military. Short bursts, carefully aimed.
Whiskey River Beef, farm to table with a twist. Come along with us on a quest towards achieving self-sufficiency in food production and fostering a robust local food source to promote good health. Stock up with premium Tennessee beef, unparalleled in flavor and tenderness. You can be confident that you're receiving beef with no added growth hormones or implants. Always pasture-raised, locally USDA processed, and shipped straight to your home. Whiskey River Beef is grass and whiskey mash fed and finished, and is at least 14 days dry-aged to enhance the tenderness and give you the most robust flavor imaginable. Go to whiskeyriverbeef.com today to order. Visit us on Instagram at Whiskey River Life and on Facebook at Whiskey River Beef LLC. Whiskey River Beef is a proud sponsor of the Talking Lead podcast and the Leadhead Brigade.
But in any case, so you want to carry as much as you can carry, I guess, without what's the word I'm looking for? I'm trying to say.
Hindering your
movement or jeopardizing the mission you're on.
There you go.
And the advantages of 5.45 or 5.56 is because in average it weighs 30% less. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So you can take either more ammo with the same loadout, the weight wise, or you'll be just that much fresher when you arrive where you're going, not carrying that extra shit. But number of magazines should be the same. It doesn't matter what caliber, as many as you can carry.
All right, he's got some more. We might come back to the rest of his. Austin Whalen, do you have an AK specific kit? He does not have an AK specific kit yet, but when I do, my main focus would be mag pouches. Would like to hear what are some of the mag pouches out there for the AK platform. Educate me. So you talked about that.
We talked about Biz combat systems. We talked about
there's
UW gear, and you can make your own.
yeah, you
And
can make,
right, and more often than not, I should say, using State Department lingo. Here's the rig, obviously designed. This is the official issue, official military U.S. military issue placards that you're supposed to put on your body armor and stuff. And that's an old 3-color or 2-color, 3-color desert pattern, so you know it goes back to the 90s.
yeah.
And here's the 6 magazines in 7.62, and they pretty, I mean, they loose, but if you not that.
You get it up against your body too. That's gonna put a little pressure on it too. So
Yeah.
it'll tighten
And
it up.
so I made it like a satchel rig. You could turn it into a chest rig if you want to, really.
Yeah.
Just have the straps crisscross to this D-rings, and then have another strap go around. But it's a satchel rig. There you go. It cost me, I think it was like a $5 each one of this placard.
Yeah.
I
I mean, there's
found the
all
strap.
kinds of companies that are making mag pouches. And you can go as cheap as you want or as expensive as you want. And there's different numbers, different varieties of how many mags you can carry in those. And I mean, it's just sky's the limit out there. So, but Marco has given you some very good, reputable companies and products that he's personally tested and used. So definitely can't go wrong with those. Ray O'Shields, what's the best cigar to accompany an AK loadout?
Oh, that's easy. That's the Monte Cristo Churchill.
Churchill, the Monte Cristo Churchill?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not familiar with that one. I don't smoke cigars, so why would I?
Okay. Give me a second.
Oh, he's got one. Marco's probably got one there. So we got a lot of questions here. I don't know that we're going to be able to get through all of them, but everyone is eligible for the prize today. And just because you asked Ray and P-Man 50 questions doesn't make you more eligible or increase your odds of winning. That's not how it works. But I do appreciate all the enthusiasm and the questions. So, all right, Marco's back. So, did you find your?
So yeah, no, that's not a Churchill, or part of it actually, maybe. Standard issue.
Camouflage.
Woodland pattern from Century Arms International.
Oh, good Lord.
From years ago, like, I don't know, 15 years ago.
That's funny. Very nice. All right, next question is Gerald Link. Says, I want a damn good chest rig now that will stand up to use and abuse. Is there anything like this in the U.S. that will fit a fun-sized person? I mean, Marco's kind of fun-sized. He gave you a lot of options there. Not the little people. After my back injury, I've got a little bit more love than used to be. So
there you go. The best chest rig. Absolutely, when you have to carry it on your chest, best chest rig, absolutely, but par none, is BCS, the Beast Combat System, 5 magazine, flat, low profile chest rig. But for fun, for a size person, the best rig, period, whether it's a butt rig, belly rig, groin rig, or chest rig, is a satchel style rig from UW Gear. 3 mag, low profile. It's always there. You adjust it where you want it on your body, and it's an awesome gear. I mean, just outright just a good chest rig. That's it. There's nothing else. There's no substitute.
There you go. Shep Guns. Do you have a do-it-all rifle or mission-specific step-ups, i.e. home defense, truck, tractor, gun? How do you set yours up? Gear-wise, same question. Do you have one rig or multiple rigs? So I have multiple. I have the one that, is my favorite.
Well, obviously, I would say that my favorite is my war guns, which is I have 3 that I run, which is one BCS, Brow Company BCM4 intermediate M4 gun. When I work with the M4 with the standard type of guns.
Yeah.
And then I have 2 AKs, one in 505, which is again, it's a Sega converted into the military configuration gun, and then also another Sega in 7.62 also converted to military configuration gun.
Mm-hmm.
So, as far as I'm concerned, but I have something different under my bed. And I have something different in my truck, which they just stay there. And sure. I hope I never have to use it. But as far as like teaching a class, going shooting, just even taking it hunting, which one of my Segas got the silencer on it and night vision for the hog shooting and hog hunting, feral hogs. And so it's kind of, but it's all around because it's got a full, folding stock, so it makes it a compact version. It still doesn't prohibit me from firing it.
Yeah.
There's I set it up where I made a different muzzle device on it that reduces recoil dramatically and the flash. I don't fuck around with trying to put some kind of like Picatinny rail instead of the rear side, or like put it on a gas tube or put it on the top cover.
Mm-hmm.
Because most of my guns actually have if I use an optic or some kind of sighting implement, I run it on the side rail.
Yeah.
On the side rail, and this is the reason why the side rail was there. We like to think that because it's different and not American, everybody else is a dumbass out there, right? But they don't give a credit to a country that sent the first man on the moon and built the first freaking nuclear power station, or did the first open heart surgery, or things like that, or invented the LASIKs.
So what about?
But they let me finish my thought.
Go ahead.
Russians had that fucking side rail on it in the 50s on their original AK Type 3's guns, and the reason why it's located there is because it's the most rigid part of the AK, is that lower back receiver part. And since then, because you got that little rail, you can put any kind of a mount that would sit over the top of your gun, and what will not prohibit you taking it apart and cleaning it, or cleaning a jam or something. If your gun in fact jams, they do. AKs have malfunctions too. And the beauty of it is there's companies like RS Regulate and my favorite, Midwest Industries, produce all kinds of side rails, even optic specific side rails.
Yeah.
That would put that gun and then return it to zero every time that you take it off and put it back on again. It's so top rails, no. Even the ones that the new guns that's got the top cover that's hinged and then locks up somehow on the top, yeah, it's good for a red dot, maybe quick acquisition sites. But that side rail, is my favorite.
Very good. Now, what about like slings and lights and
Best sling in the
Hands.
world.
yeah?
Best best sling in the world.
In the wild?
In the world is the one that issued with AK. I explain why.
Okay.
It's wide enough so it's comfortable. It's easy to adjust it like your regular belt. And it can easily swap between 2-point attachment to 1-point attachment without spending $100. Anything else that is inch or inch and a half even in nylon is gonna roll on you and settle in the most uncomfortable places.
Mm-hmm. I was going to ask you, what width do you recommend on a sling?
The regular width, whatever
Standard.
it is,
Standard AK.
I think it's 30 millimeters, the AK sling. They also cost only like $15 or $20. They're they all over the eBay or interwebs. You can find it anywhere you look.
Plus stores, you can find them.
Yeah. They're very simple. They nothing fancy. I mean, they have these slings now, and I think the Magpul makes them. I like some of the Magpul slings, the ones that wide ones.
Yeah.
And I can't picture myself doing one of these numbers where you go like this, lengthening your freaking sling by pulling on this thing, like making it longer or shorter. Why in the fuck would you need to do that? If you had it set up the way you got it set up, and that's your gun, and you always go to it, you always take it, and whatever. Why do you need this adjustable sling just to adjust it, whether you carry it on the shoulder or across your neck or one arm in, type across your chest, so you have that like fucking trombone.
Like a trombone.
Yeah, I mean, why? You don't need that. Once you set it up where it sits over your gear,
That's fine.
you can work. You can, if you put it across diagonally across your chest, you can slide the gun way to the back or up front.
Somebody had a comment on here. Flightline Fiber Co. Yeah, Corey Brown. I'm noticing dump pouches becoming more prevalent. What is your favorite? Mine is Flatline Fiber Co. Flatline Fiber Co. also makes slings, and they make really good slings. I've got a couple of their slings. I also have their dump pouches, and I like their dump pouches too. But I mean, again, like Marco said, I mean, a dump pouch, you don't need to go and spend a ton of money on a dump pouch. You can pretty much make anything into a dump pouch. Yeah.
What you do is you take your old BDU pant leg, cut it off, right, and then sew it on the bottom into your dump pouch. Dump pouch is literally could be pronounced two ways: dump pouch, where you dump stuff in, and dumb pouch, like DUMB pouch, because it's the easiest freaking bucket type of pouch.
Yeah.
I don't see why this one even got a fucking liner. Why do you need that?
I don't know. Is it
What, you gonna put it on your head?
That's like, you could cut that out and make 2 dump pouches. You could use that liner as another dump pouch.
I mean, the ones that probably my favorite is the U.S. Marine Corps ones that you can find on eBay again for maybe, I don't know, $20 or something.
Yeah.
And that's probably the best one, like for that in that category. But like I said, the dump pouch is a dump stuff where you put stuff in, and it hangs off your buttocks.
Yeah, but it's a very useful piece of kit that you want to have.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. But you don't have to have like a 1,700 buckles and freaking zipper and this and that and the other thing.
And pouches on the inside of your dump pouch. I mean, what's the purpose?
No, just a basic pouch that you can attach to your belt and and put the empty mags in.
There you go.
Or when you pull the gold teeth out of your enemy's mouth, you put them in there.
Collect them. Yeah. Collect your battlefield finds. And yes, he goes on. He goes, didn't we used to have a discount code? Yeah, there used to be one. I don't know if it still works or not. I think it was Leadhead. And I think it was like 10% off or something, but I don't know if that's still active or not. You can try it. Try it and see. DJ Stevens. And you talked about this a little bit. How stable are rear sight mounts like the TWS or the Adaro Bravo? And Marco just went on a whole spiel about that. So we're not going to go any more into that. We talked about proper magazine loadout quantity. For ammo max squad mates. This one is from Nikolai. Favorite chest rig and setup. We talked about that. And why do I feel that every AK sold should come with a Type 56 chest rig? Damn nostalgia, LOL.
No, I mean, no. Again, it's the flattest one, the simplest one. And we talked about toggles. It's got wooden toggles that could be replaced in any condition. The only thing that I would probably do to improve the Type 56 chest rig is get rid of that shoestrings and shit hanging on the back, because you could never tie them properly by yourself.
Yeah.
And what I would do is I would attach like a 1-inch nylon strap in the Nexus buckle. Use your fingers, needle and string, and do this stuff, and that's about it. But the rig is still functional and operational, and it's still low profile, easy to use. I'm all for it. If you have one, use it.
All right. Just kind of scanning through, and I'm not reading it because I said a lot of you have the similar questions. So if I didn't read yours, again, like I said, you're still eligible for the giveaway. It's just we only have some. Here's another sling. AZ Gunzu. Slings on AKs. We talked about that. He says classic Soviet style or more modern and classic AK styles. What Marco recommends.
I'm giving you 15 minutes notice, and then I'm going to have to sign off.
All right. What's your preferred method for mounting red dot? We talked about that. That's P-Man. P-Man, will the Sure Shot chassis fit the Pioneer Arms 5.56 underfolder? I do not know that, but I can. I'll ask him and see about that. And then thoughts on a KNS adjustable piston?
Don't do it. What do you need it for? I mean, I have multiple guns, including machine guns, mounted with the suppressors, silencers, and I shoot subsonic and supersonic, subsonic and supersonic, whatever, regular ammo through it without changing anything. So I don't know why you need that freaking piston. I think it's somebody that was sleeping one night, happy that he got like a mid-length piston-operated AR one day, that he was so happy with it, says, oh, I should put something like this on my AK. And that's how he woke up the next day, inspired to make that fucking thing, and then poop in everybody's brain with that great idea. I don't see the need for it, quite honestly. But then, all of you boys and girls out there in TV land, don't take my personal opinions as a God honest truth or gospel. It's just a one man's opinion. So if you ask me that, I'm offering my opinion, and I have been wrong before. I am not ashamed to admit it, but here it is, my personal opinion, not reflecting of those who are participating in this podcast, is that you don't need it.
There you go. Two more. Pacific Northwesterner. What is your least favorite equipment loadout and why? I mean, I don't think we need to go down that road, do we?
I don't like to carry wooden crates full of ammo, M62, TM62, anti-tank mines, rubber bladders with the unit's water. What else? Oh, the sea rations and all this canned meat and shit that, you know, and also additional belts for AGS-17 automatic grenade launcher.
There you go.
Also, I'm like not partial to or completely against carrying the tripod for the freaking 50 caliber machine gun.
The MG. All right, Bailey Mothers, our last one, and then we'll do the giveaways. What weapon mounted lights are you guys running on your rifles? I like Enforce. So there you go. I run Enforce when I can.
What is it? What do you mount?
Enforce.
Oh yeah, Enforce is a great light.
I like the profile of their rifle mounted lights. The slim.
Enforce is good. Yeah. Also, which one did EOTech distribute?
EOTech has lights.
Yeah.
Let's see.
They also kind of flat, but the round light. Is it also Enforce?
I mean, I didn't know EOTech had a light, so
yeah, EOTech distribute EOTech, which they moved now, but they were just a mile away from me.
Oh yeah, they're up in Michigan.
Oh yeah, they're now in the nicest part of Michigan, which is the Traverse City, but used to be in Ann Arbor. Hold on just a sec. Hang on.
Okay. I don't think they make flashlights. They might have been selling somebody's, but on their website they don't have flashlights. Night vision, thermal, lasers. Rifle scope mounts, magnifiers, hybrid lights, holographic sights. Yeah, I don't think they have it. But anyway, I like the Enforce. I run on my pistols also because they have the low profile pistol ones too, and I like the on-off mechanism. It's real easy to get to with your finger off trigger. But they've got several. They got a couple of different pistol mounted lights, and then they're I'll pull them up here. They're rifle mounted lights against the low profile. So if you don't know what we're talking about, I am sharing it now for our viewing audience. Rifle lights. The WMLX Gen 3, they got a white light. They got IR settings on those. And real easy to put on.
There we go.
Off.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, Marco's back. I was
cool.
Everybody
Insight. L3 Insight.
L3 Insight.
Hang on, let me put the headphones on.
So it's called L3 Insight.
Yeah, L3 is the company, was parent company of EOTech.
Okay, yeah, because I went to EOTech's website and they have no flashlights on their website, so they must have it under that company. Yeah, and then I was showing these.
Yeah, that's I have them on my 9mm SBR and machine guns.
Yeah, those are great rifle light, and then they've got pistol lights as well that I really like, and I run those as well.
And they got the version which I buy is the IR and the white light.
Right.
Swappable.
Yep. So there you go. That's and there's there's a plethora of lights out there too, and I'm sure everybody's got their. I think what Swamp Fox. Does Swamp Fox have lights, or there's just lasers?
I don't know, but I'm about to go in 9 minutes.
Okay, we're going to wrap it up right here. So let's pick our winners, Marco. Let's go for the Seal 1 and Done Complete Gun Cleaning Kit Care. The Seal 1 and Done. Let's give that to Pick a number between 1 and 50.
32.
32. That is AZ Gunzu. AZ Gunzu, you win the Seal 1. Shoot me an email. Tell me what you won, and we'll need your mailing address to send out the Seal 1 and Done complete gun clean kit. You get a whole kit. All right, next is going to be the Mission First Tactical Dump Tray, this season's dump tray, which I've been using it. It's out in my garage.
I use it all the time, every day.
I know. I love those things. That, pick a number between 1 and 50.
66.
That's
I know. I did it on purpose.
I'm going to half that. Say 33. How about that?
Let's do a drumsticks. 11.
11. Okay. That is DJ Stevens. So DJ Stevens, you are the winner of the Mission First Tactical Dump Tray, AK Corner Season 6 Pioneer Arms Corps version. Email me, talkinglead@gmail.com. Tell me what you won, and I need your mailing address. All right, Marco, the big giveaway. The 5.56 railed AKM with collapsible buttstock from Pioneer Arms Corps. Again, if you're not a winner and you want an AK, go to pioneerarmsus.com, use that code AKKORNER, and you're going to get $25 off plus 2 mags. But today's lucky winner, Marco, we're going to, again, between the 1 and the 50 there.
Really?
You want to do that, or you got somebody in mind? Was there a question there that you liked?
Yeah, I like the question. I liked one particular question which underlined my whole spiel today, which I probably piss off a few people, but I apologize for that. Again, it's only my opinion. The one question that kind of underlined the whole thing about picking a rig and making it yours.
Mm-hmm.
Is the one about that Zbruja partisan rig.
Oh, our very first question, that was the Snuggly Spetsnaz.
There you go. You see, it's in the name.
There, the Snuggly Spetsnaz. So, Snuggly, congratulations. Now you can run a Pioneer R. You can run a real AK at your competitions now. So you got a 5.56 railed Pioneer Arms AKM. Email me, talkinglead@gmail.com. Again, all laws apply. You have to be old enough and eligible and in your state, blah, 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 which I think you are because you're running AKs and doing all the competitions and stuff. You're going to need your FFL. So send your FFL along with that, and then we'll send that on to CJ. And I wish CJ could have joined us. Of course, he's on the road. And as he stated, if you spot him during his trip from Florida to Alaska and then Alaska back to Florida, then he'll give you an AK. He'll give you a rifle. So you got to flag him down and talk to him first and let him know how much you appreciate him sponsoring this year's AK Corner. But yeah, and I've posted but pictures of what his Toyota looks like because he came by Murfreesboro on his way. We had dinner, and we talked guns, talked about the September giveaway, which is going to be this. It's going to be a Hell Puppy Pro, and it's going to come with all the accessories. And if they've got the adapters for the Picatinny, it'll come with that too. But Marco and I will give you details on what to do for that. There's going to be some trivia involved coming up, so stay tuned, be listening for that. But yeah, if you're out and you see CJ, and I'll make some posts on Instagram kind of giving you hints. I think he's actually in Canada now, so he's kind of was at home base. He's in the free zone right now, where if you see him, he can't give Canadians guns. So you guys aren't eligible if you're Canadian.
So no guns for Canadians, hey?
No guns for Canadians. No, they're not eligible for this giveaway. Nothing personal. You can talk to your czar about that. That's all I got to say about that.
No guns, hey?
You
Well,
hosers. So, Marco, again, thank you so much. Great episode, full of education here for our listeners. Again, Marco has several books out, but if you get an opportunity, and he gave 2 of these away last episode. I didn't read our bullpup guy. He had a bullpup question for you. Don't forget, Marco, bullpups can be attached anywhere on kit, and don't forget about AGO and his MV AUG. So be
MVO.
Be hurt.
Yeah. He keeps on. All right. Well, be hurt.
Bullpup jab every time.
Yeah. Awesome. Keep them coming. But here's a quick question for you to suspending your bullpup. You can also suspend cast iron pan just about anywhere on your loadout.
There you go.
But it's probably going to be as useless as... actually, you can make some Russian kasha on some open fire and feed your unit with a cast iron pot.
We need a recipe. We don't know what kasha is.
Oh, fuck. Buckwheat.
Next episode, Marco's going to give us the recipe for kasha and how to properly prepare it. But in the meantime, go to Amazon and check out his book, The AK-47, The Survival and Evolution of the World's Most Prolific Gun by Marco Vorobiev. You can get that on Amazon. And if you want him to autograph it, you can send it to him. He'll autograph it and send it back to you. He's that kind of guy. Awesome guy. Very generous with your time with us and the Leadhead Brigade. Marco, we greatly appreciate it. And next episode, do we know what we're going to talk about next month? Or is that going to be a secret? We probably need to collab on that, don't we? Talk about it. So.
Yeah, or maybe place it to the listeners.
Okay.
And have them, send in the suggestions, what they would like to hear, and then we will kind of record. Obviously, it's going to be, probably a variety of items, but
sure.
we'll try to kind of separate them by
So I think let's make August a free-for-all listener centric episode. You guys send your suggestions in on what you want the topics to be, and then we'll do kind of a mishmash of everybody's suggestions there. So, very good.
Yep.
All right, guys. Until next month, be watching the Instagrams, be watching the social medias. Go follow everybody. Go buy Marco's book, and we will see you in August. Out.
The Firebird M50 targets are a new, low-noise version of our popular 50 bio-detonating target. M50 targets are self-contained, pyrotechnic, reactive targets that are legal, safe, and easy to transport. Use the exclusive code TL15 for 15% off all orders at firebirdtargets.com. Firebird Targets is a proud sponsor of the Talking Lead podcast and the Leadhead Brigade.
The sheriff's departments and like anything that's southwest and southeast and west of Mississippi and anything in between carried 40s for a reason, because they did the ballistic studies and so on and so on. And so they couldn't get in with their 9mm pistol. So they started, they created that, whatever that number is, was it 22 or 20, whatever the Glock in 40?
Yeah, the 22.
Yeah. That fucking thing starts to blow up. I mean, they couldn't build so USP 40 was built as a 40 caliber pistol, whereas Glock 22 was just another Glock 17 but chambered in a 40, which is by far higher pressures and shit. Right. And then they start blowing up, so they couldn't sell them to the police department. So they start demonizing the 40, saying 40 is just like a fucking 9 plus P plus PP plus Z9 LGBTQ. It shoots exactly the same. And that's how they were able to get into the market. But now, the police departments, now that they can get the Zigs in 40, and some reliable other guns, they all going away from the 9mm Glock. And you know why that is?
I assumed it was because of ammo marketing, where they were just trying to get people to start shooting use 9.
Nah, everybody shot 9 who wanted 9. But the thing is, I mean, it loses to 40, like it's not even close. Penetration-wise, the accuracy-wise, the everything-wise, especially penetration and the stopping power.
Yeah.
Out of 3 major calibers like 9, 40, and 45, 40 stands on its own. But, it's a snappier. Well, this is because you never shot the USP 40. It shoots probably softer than any fucking 9mm Glock.
Yeah.
It's in design.
Tune it, right? The springs and everything go into that.
Everything. It's a design of a gun. It's not. You can't just take a fucking Glock and 9mm that was designed for it.
It's a design around the